Hi, this is Jackson No with No Finance. I wanted to give you small business owners a report that I found from the Coleman Report. What they are is a leading provider of critical information for today's small business bankers, lenders, and other professionals. They've been doing this 20, 30 years. They'll send out daily reports. And I thought this report was great for you small business owners because I think it's going to make you all feel optimistic about obtaining funding in the future. So hopefully here at the end of 2024, if not 2025, things are looking better. So there's a report from the Coleman Report going off of what the Department of Treasury said. So I'll bring this up here. The title is Rising Small Businesses Optimism in the U.S. Despite Ongoing Challenges Could Indicate Easier Financial Conditions in the Near Future. And so, again, it's coming from Bob Coleman. He's the founder of Coleman Report. And this is a quote from the Department of Treasury. That's from the Assistant Secretary for Economic Policy at the Department of Treasury. But small businesses play a disproportionately large role in our labor markets. Half the Americans that work for private business work for small one, and with entrepreneurship surging since the pandemic, that role is poised to grow further. Americans are finding it an especially good time to start a small business. I would agree with that. I think ever since the pandemic, a lot of people have started their own business. They had extra time during COVID. And you just saw a surge as far as family and friends. If you talk to anybody, it seemed like everyone started some type of business during COVID. And then it goes on, the Treasury reviewed the current state of small business and found that small businesses have remained resilient during the economic adversities of recent years. We all know 2023 and this year, 2024, have not been the easiest for businesses or even for people in general dealing with inflation. New small businesses are on the rise. Small businesses are creating more than 70% of new jobs, and owners are continuing to express confidence in their future business revenue. So again, small businesses are creating more than 70% of new jobs. When I saw that number, I was astounded to see that. I feel you would think a lot of these large corporations have all this money, have plenty of cash on reserves, they're doing billions and billions of dollars a year. You would think that they're creating jobs, but it seems like they're sitting on their thumb right now. And small businesses took the brunt of the hit during COVID. At least it seemed a lot of small businesses had to go out of operation for a long time. I had to suspend their business activity. And it's the small business owners that have everything to lose are the ones that are creating the most jobs right now. So you all keep it up. Here's the chart that I want to share with you. It's a correlation of changes between small business optimism and net easing of credit standards. So net easing of credit standards, we're just talking about how banks and lenders, are they easing it? Are they making it easier to give you all to money, line of credit, bank term loan, just a equipment financing deal, any type of loan? Is it making it easier to access a loan from the bank or the lender? So as you can see here, the x-axis, this is the horizontal one here, 0.00. On the left side, it says credit easing leads small business optimism. And on the right side, it says small business optimism leads credit easing. And you can see here, this means that the business owners are feeling more optimistic. And the credit easing is going up, which is a good thing. It makes a huge difference when the small business owners are feeling optimistic. And that's what's driving the credit easing of the lenders and the banks. It's making them feel more comfortable with lending money, essentially. It doesn't happen when the banks and the lenders actually ease the credit standards themselves. They typically follow the feelings of the small business owners being optimistic. So 9 months to a year later, according to the Treasury, I'll hit that later, but typically 9 months to a year later, after the small business owners are starting to feel optimistic again, is when the banks and the lenders will ease up their credit standards. I want to go over the sources here. So the sources are the National Federation of Independent Businesses, the Federal Reserve Board, the Senior Loan Officer Opinion Survey, and the U.S. Treasury calculations. Okay. So both the NFIB is the National Federation of Individual Businesses, and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and MetLife indices have seen a boost in small business optimism. Neither index has caught up to the 2019 era of pre-pandemic optimism, but they both have seen considerable growth in 2024. Again, I just did a video yesterday coming from the U.S. Bank. They did a survey of 1,000 different U.S. business owners, small business owners, and then 1,000 small business employees. And they said that 9 out of 10 small business owners from those 1,000 that they surveyed feel very optimistic about their future. So I was very surprised to see that. Just with everything that's been going on the last 2 years, it seemed like the economy has really struggled, but the small business owners are the one that are feeling good and hiring 70% of the new jobs. The U.S. Treasury notes that increasing small business optimism tends to precede easing small business credit conditions by 9 months to a year. I just hit on that when we were going over the chart. So we should see those credit easing standards where they're starting to lend money again, probably in Q1, maybe Q2 of 2025. So it's coming up. But though the two do not have a causal relationship, it is a pattern that could point to bolstering small business lending in the future. There's also a general expectation that financial conditions will become easier. Important headwinds remain. Credit for small businesses is still historically tight, although the trend has eased somewhat in recent months. And business owners, like households, still face costs that are too high. But given the recent progress, it is important to recognize the central role small businesses play in the U.S. economy. I think the two main points to take away here is lending should loosen up in 2025. So if you're a small business owner watching this video, it should make you feel a little bit better about accessing capital, at least in 2025. So it should seem like the banks and the lenders will loosen up. Hopefully the interest rates come down and they'll start lending money again in Q1 or Q2. The other interesting point about that is I never would have thought this, but the easing of the standards, the credit easing standards actually follow the feelings of the small business owners, which makes sense. So if small business owners feel good, the banks and lenders are going to feel good about lending money to them. Small businesses are creating more than 70% of new jobs. That was my other takeaway from this report. So you will keep it up. That's awesome. I never would have guessed that 70% of the new jobs are being created by small business owners. You're the ones that have the most to lose and you're creating the most jobs. Obviously, thanks to you small business owners that you are keeping the economy going and hopefully getting back to normal here in 2025. Thanks for your time, and I'll send out more videos here soon.